umaga. Mayad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. I have my morning cup of coffee here, my Copico Blanca, 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar. These things here in the Philippines very popular. You can get them pretty much anywhere here, like 7-Eleven, sari-sari stores. Very popular in the sari-sari stores because in the morning, you can go to the sari-sari store and get one of these 3-in-1 coffee for like 10 pesos and get a cup from the sari-sari store, put the powder, and then they'll have a hot water for you, like in a thermos. A lot of jeepney drivers, a lot of tricycle drivers. That's kind of like the hangout here in the morning, like getting their coffee at the sari-sari stores. John Drake, hey, that's new. Oh, thank you, John. Appreciate that. Appreciate the new subscription. Thank you so much, my friend. Today, actually, I didn't have to take Liana to school today because there is no school today here in Aklan province. And most of Luzon, pretty much most of Luzon Islands and then here in the Visayas, no school today because of the rain. And that's what I'm going to discuss now. I'm going to go through the weather report, my daily weather report before I get started. There is now a tropical depression Dante, D-A-N-T-E. It has entered the Philippine area of responsibility. Again, this is going to be in extreme northern Luzon is where tropical depression Dante is. That's where, like I said many times, a lot of the typhoons, a lot of the weather that comes through the Philippines always hits like northern Luzon, central Luzon, then eastern Visayas. But again, this is in extreme northern Luzon. They say it's actually not going to make landfall in landmass in the Philippines, but it's causing a lot of rain because this is also Habagat season. Habagat season is a monsoon season here in the Philippines. The peak of Habagat season, we get the most rain, I think, during Habagat season is like July and August. Next month's gonna be like super rainy here in the Philippines. But as far as like Metro Manila, you can go online, you can go YouTube online. There's like a lot of flooding. Metro Manila there's a lot of areas in Metro Manila that just floods easy. A lot of it's the drainage problem, and that's been a problem since I was a kid growing up in Manila. Like I've mentioned on the live streams before, I used to go to school in Manila, and I would take the jeepney from Quezon City all the way to Intramuros, Manila, and that areas like España. I know in areas in Santa Cruz, Retiro, there's just areas in Manila that this is back in the 70s. It was flooding all the time. It doesn't even take much rain and it would flood those areas. Cancel school all the time. And nothing has changed. If anything, it's probably gotten worse, because more people live in Manila now, more in Metro Manila, more congestion, more trash. That's always the problem with like I said, even back in the 70s, that was an issue because people dump their trash everywhere. So it clogs up the drainage in Manila, in Metro Manila. So, we're talking, 50 years? They haven't solved it. So I wouldn't hold my breath as far as them ever figuring out how to solve the flooding issues in Metro Manila. It's just the same like anywhere you go in the Philippines. There's just areas that are flood prone and nothing you can do about it. Even Calibo, where we live here, because of Aklan River, there are certain sections of Calibo that are just flood prone, like Barangay La Serna. It doesn't take much to flood that area because they're right on the river. It is what it is. It's kind of, people always like try to politicize the point, point to the government. They're doing nothing, but, it's like, I'm sure they're trying to do something. It's just that, we Philippines gets a lot of rain. It's like the Philippines is like Philippines is in the top 10 of the wettest countries in the world. So we just get a lot of rain, a lot of weather here in the Philippines. And growing up here, and now I've been here retired 14 years. I just expect it, come July, August, all the way to like middle of November. Usually it starts preparing for like the Christmas season. It doesn't rain as much, but we just get a lot of rain here during rainy season. But like today, like I said, no school for I got a picture of it, of all the areas that have mostly like Metro Manila, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, Batangas, and I'm sure Cavite. I'm sure my friends in Cavite, my friend Michael and Fortune in Bacoor, Cavite, in Trece Martires. I seen pictures, Fortune. I was like looking online on the video. I saw like the mall area, the SM mall area by Bacoor. There was water on the street, flooding. La Union, Masbate, Albay, Bicol region. That place is always if you live in like the Bicol region by Mayon volcano, that area, that's always flood prone areas. And then here in Aklan, they canceled school in Aklan, Capiz, Iloilo, and Antique. So the whole Panay Island, no school today for the kids. And it rained last night. I mean, it rained pretty much all night last night, but this morning it's not raining, but it's cloudy. It looks like it's gonna continue to rain all day today. Good morning, Ginno. Love from Boston, Charlie Letts. All right, from Boston. I was just talking to my friend Leo yesterday. We video chatted with my other friend Busby. Leo and I and Busby, we were stationed at George Air Force Base back in 1984, and we lived in a dormitory at George Air Force Base. So we like linking up all the time. We always like video chat. Leo always puts us on a three-way video chat, and we just like, we harass each other. It's like that's how with good friends in the military, we're able to do that. We're able to act. It's like we just like give each other a hard time, but it's all in fun, And Leo's like one of my best buddies from Boston. Vegas Will, good morning, Kuya. Hey, good morning, Vegas Will. Did you see the news? Yes, I've been watching it, since yesterday. Been watching. I'm interested in that. I'm interested. I'm military, so anything, Philippine. American relations. I've been watching saw the press conference. I saw Marco Rubio in there, Pete Hegseth. I'm glad they didn't put JD Vance in there. It's like JD Vance causes trouble sometimes. It's like I remember when that the president from Ukraine got ugly because of JD Vance. So I noticed he's not in there. So that's a good thing. What did you think about it, and what happened? I think it's great. I mean, watching it even yesterday, from the time President Marcos landed in, I think Andrews Air Force Base in Washington D.C., it's just like you could tell that they laid out the red carpet for him. They had people meeting him. Pete Hegseth was there, Hegseth, and then they had full military honors, like. I'm sure they do that for all dignitaries and all presidents, but it was just nice to see. And you can tell when President Bongbong Marcos, when he got out of that big SUV and he started walking the steps, you can tell he's smiling. He's happy. He's happy to be in the United States for the talks. And the Philippines and the United States, they've always been allies. I mean, I can't think of another nation here in Southeast Asia that's closer to the United States. You know, we've always had, like President Marcos was saying, you know, the Philippines only has a mutual defense agreement with the United States. They don't have another treaty going on with any other country in the world. You know, so. It's mutually beneficial. Like the conference I was watching, the you know, the meeting with between Trump and President Marcos. You can tell they have a good banter. You know, it was friendly. I know President Trump just announced that the tariff on the Philippines could be 19%, and then for Philippine goods, and then 0%. I mean, I'm sure all the details will come out, but it was good talks, and they ironed out the deal. I know some people will probably look at that and go, U.S. is getting 19%, and the Philippines, you know, won't zero for the U.S. But believe me, any deal that the Philippines makes with the United States, it's a good deal for both. Good deal for the U.S. and it's a good deal for the Philippines because America has always done a lot here in the Philippines. Donated a lot of things here, weapons. They're actually talking about building ammunitions to produce ammunitions at Subic Bay, where the U.S. naval base before. Like I said, I'm sure all those details will come out. U.S. has always supported the Philippines militarily, economically, and humanitarian. So it's like, why would you want to ruin that relationship? You know, I think, you know, I'm not gonna say bad things about the previous president of the Philippines, but I think you know, the previous president, he was, it's not like he was playing both sides. You know, he was playing both sides with China and the U.S. And you know, finally, I think the Philippines, we've gotten rid of China here in the Philippines. We've gotten rid of the POGO. People, I don't know if they know POGO. POGO is that illegal online gambling criminal syndicate that the Chinese were running here in the Philippines. Running human trafficking, gambling, you know, whatever comes from that bad criminal element, you know, that's why a lot of condos now in the Philippines and Manila are empty because the Chinese were running that POGO here in the Philippines. Hopefully that's, you know, gone. You know, I'm sure there's still somewhere in the Philippines lingering, you know, because it's hard for criminal entities to give up completely, but hopefully the Philippines and you know, the relationship with China and the Philippines, it's gotten to the point now where, you know, most Filipinos here, you know, don't really like that relationship because we've seen all the videos of Chinese coast guards bullying our fishermen in the West Philippine Sea. So that's not a good thing, you know, that's not a good thing. And then, of course, all those islands they built on like territory that belongs to the Philippines. You know, how does China, you know, how would that go with, you know, you're building these structures in the oceans right on the West Philippine Sea. So I'm glad that the Philippines now, I'm glad it's really pivoted back to the American side because like I said, the previous administration, you didn't really know. They were kind of like playing both sides, China and the U.S. And that's to me, that's like not a good thing. And then we can't, you know, the Philippines canceled all that. What is that? Road fixing here, Beltway, roadway, whatever scam China was running. And continues to run all across the world. Basically, China's like putting all these countries in debt. You know, that way they can take over the country is what they're doing. And they were trying to do that here in the Philippines. But all those projects here in the Philippines that China had planned on doing, they scrap all that now. So hopefully, and I know Japan, I know the United States, they're putting more money into the Philippines as far as infrastructure. I'm just happy that it's back to normal. It's feeling back to normal. Like America and US has always been allies, always been good partners. It's like I would not want to partner anything with China. It's like I think anybody that partners with China is kind of setting themselves up for failure. China doesn't have a good history about doing things right. Edgar, saw videos of high water. Yes, Edgar, it's like that is common. That is common in Manila because that happened when I was a kid growing up in Manila. So it's not like it's nothing new. Every year it's the same thing. It's just that most of Manila and then a lot of that portion by Manila Bay, they had dumped all that. They pretty much dump all rocks and stuff. They created more land, but a lot of that area is below sea level. There's a lot of area in Metro Manila that's below sea level, so it's flood prone. A lot of flood. Marikina in Manila, that's like flood prone. That's one place if you don't like floods, it's like I would avoid trying to live in Marikina. There's just areas. There's areas in Manila that notoriously floods. But what I see all the time, man, it's like it happened when I was a kid. You see it on the videos. Kids are out playing in the floodwaters, which is terrible because they don't know all kinds of diseases that they can catch in those floodwaters. Ray, my good friend in Sacramento. All right, Ray, what's up, Ray? Good morning, my brother. I'm here in Kaiser waiting for my wife. She has an appointment with Nuclear Med. Take care. All right, brother. Hope all goes well with the appointment. It's like HD. I see HD delete. All right. Good morning, HD. Greetings and salutations, HD. Oh, Ginno, I'm from Bacoor, Cavite too. I remember Vegasville. I remember you saying you're also from Bacoor. 5 minutes. Yeah, and I saw pictures, man. I saw pictures. I saw the SM Bacoor, and then there's like waist high water on outside of the mall there. But the one thing with floods here, I would add, is like you might see it like waist high, sometimes higher. They recede pretty fast. It's not like the flood water stays there for days. It's not like that. It's like even in Calibo, if it floods, like you have knee-high water, waist-high water in Calibo somewhere, a few hours, 6-7 hours, and the water's gone. So it's not like the floods you see elsewhere where days or weeks and it's still flooded. It's not like that. I mean, you can see in Manila, I was watching videos, the big buses. I mean, there's still, even tricycles, buses, the pedicabs, they're still transporting people. It's not like when the floods come, they stop transporting people. But I'm glad they shut down basically all the school and all that. That way, less people on the street everywhere. Manila, even here, it's like, because, all that does is like it gets the kids sick. When it's raining, they got to walk on flood water, they're wet, they're sweaty, it's like, and, kids, they don't have the immune system yet. So it's easy for kids to get sick. Syndicate Custom Relics. Hi. Hello. I've got to go, Ginno. All right, Charlie. Have a great day. Thank you for joining the live stream, my friend. I'm by the George Air Force Base. All right, that's awesome, man. I used to live. I live in Adelant. I lived in the dorms, of course. I lived in the dorms, and then when I made senior airman, they allowed me senior airman in the Air Force. You go from airman basic, airman, then airman first class, and then senior airman. And then when you make senior airman in the Air Force, back in the day anyway, they let you move off base. You have the option to I guess you earn it that you're older, more mature. Well, because you've been in longer. They let us move outside the base. Because, dorm life can be tough. You got a roommate in the dorm. And then our dorms, we had the older dorms, so it's like thin walls, people rocking out their music, it's like we got night shift, day shift, so it's like it's hard to sleep sometimes, that's why. But I lived in Adelanto. I had an apartment in Adelanto, and then eventually I moved to Victorville. From the base, there's a road going to Victorville, and then right before you hit Victorville, I had an apartment. I saw that. I saw that. Ozzy Osbourne. I saw that. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Working hard already. Working hard already. HD is working hard. God bless Ozzy. May rest in peace. Yes, that's Ozzy was kind of like my generation. He was in the 80s. He was very popular in the 80s. Best to get up them early. All right. JB Manalan. Good morning. Good morning from Sydney, Australia. All right. How did you know? I too watched the Marcus Trump talk. I especially love Trump telling the reporter, "You are very lucky to be from the Philippines." Yes, yes. I mean, you can just tell. It's like a friendly exchange between two leaders of their countries. It's like, good things. I expect good things from the relationship now that between Marcos and President Marcos and President Trump. The relationships between the Philippines and the U.S. has always been good anyway. And now it's like the Philippines, like President Marcos is saying, there's Philippines still looks at it as their building their military here with the support of the US and all that. But the Philippines is spending a lot of money on military defense. They have that 20 F-16s order that should be delivered to the Philippines soon. And then the Philippines, they've received like 2 packages already from India, the Abrams missile last year and then this year. So Philippines is spending money. It's on its own defense, upgrading the Philippine Navy, building ships, because you don't want to Philippines don't want to keep getting bullied in the West Philippine Sea. That's territory of the Philippines. That should be Filipinos should be able to fish that. And you don't want any nation trying to bully you there and trying to like set up shop. That's what's basically what China's doing, is they're setting up shop. They're putting land on the ocean. They're building all these permanent structures on the West Philippine Sea, man. Hello, everyone. JB Manala. All right, JB. All right. The new deal should make a lot items cheaper at SM. At SM. Well, I'm hoping. That's why I'll wait and see, Edgar. I'll wait and see. But, it's like, it's not like there's so much stuff here, American goods here. And Filipinos love American goods. It's not like, and we pay extra. I mean, we pay extra for American goods here because I know I go to SNR all the time. Some of the stuff in SNR that I get in the US is more expensive at SNR, which I understand because shipping, tax and the import tax and all that. I don't have a problem. And Filipinos don't have a problem either, because when I go to SNR, it's not just expats shopping there. I would say 80% of the people at SNR are Filipinos, local Filipinos that shop there at SNR, buying all the American goods here. Filipinos just have, love American goods. It's like anytime you mention a balikbayan box coming from the U.S. or somebody coming home from the U.S. and they got, they'll fill their 2 suitcases of presents from the U.S. Everybody's excited and happy, with that. I don't see, I don't see that kind of excitement when, I don't hear a lot of excitement of Filipinos ever wanting to go to China. It's like me, here in the Philippines, if you hear somebody, they're moving to the United States, they got petitioned or they got a fiance in the U.S. Oh, wow, you're going to America. Congratulations. I don't hear that same sentiment if like you're going to China. It's like nobody dreams in the Philippines of going to China. Fortune, good AM, good AM. All right, good AM, Fortune. Hopefully not too flooding in your area. And I seen in Bacoor, man, I saw a picture like by the SM Bacoor. I saw there's like flooding in front of that. Hopefully that's receded. I know getting rain still. My friend Michael from Trece Martires, he said it was raining all day. It's raining now again. I can hear the rain outside now again. It was raining all night here in our area. And then there was portions where it was like pouring rain, pouring rain. I think China is getting on people's nerves worldwide. I think so, man. You know, it's like, well, it's just the shady things that, to me, China, I mean, for me, it all started with the Wuhan virus. I just think that, they created that stuff, and that caused so much damage to the world. And they're just shady, man. China's just shady. It's like taking out cancer out of the country. They destroyed the country, then no longer they remain in the Philippines. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's like the less we have China involved in Philippine affairs, I think it's the better, man. For me, no government work and classes has expanded to include Panay. Yeah, it expanded over here, man. I was surprised actually, Fortune, when I saw that. I was like, oh, including Panay. No, everything shut down here in Panay. But we are getting rain, and I'm sure there's areas in Panay today that's going to be flooded. Raining again, but 3-4. Yeah, it's raining again now. It rained all night here in our area. Also from Bacoor, in the old city proper. Rest in peace, Aussie. I had heard that BBM and Trump reached a deal. Yes, they did. They did. I'm sure more details on the deal will come out, but they have reached a deal. Hey, Kip, hey, my good friend in Tucson, Arizona. Hey, Kip, woohoo! I made it. All right, Kip. Glad you made it, my friend. China is notorious their tofu build. They tried to cover up the building collapse in Thailand. I was thinking of the future catastrophe that would happen to the ones they were part. I'm just glad they're no longer part of the Philippines, because I remember at one time they were supposed to build like a railroad here in the Philippines. They were supposed to build highways here in the Philippines. And all that, I know all that was just an attempt to like indebt the Philippines to them, put the Philippines in a lot of debt with China, and then for them to start taking our resources. They just do shady things, man. And I think the world is finally catching up to that. You mentioned George Air Force. I've had family member over there. What were the living conditions like? Oh, I like my time at George Air Force. I mean, I was inside the base when of course the base is no longer a base. It's like abandoned now. But back in the 80s, I think they closed in the 92, I think is when they closed. But back in the 80s, man, I loved living in the high desert. It was close enough to Los Angeles. It's like from Victorville, to San Bernardino County, Ontario, California. It's close enough to the beaches, things like that you can travel on the weekend, make a weekend out of it. I got to watch Dodger games, often, when I lived in Victorville, California. And then the condition, the base was nice. And I remember Victorville was expanding there. I could even imagine now, because that's in the 80s when I was stationed there. So I'm sure it's more developed now, the Apple Valley area, Victorville, Hesperia, and Adelanto. Yeah, I have good memories of George Air Force Base, just because it was my first assignment in the military. I was 17 years old when I got assigned there. My first time away from home, I lived in the dormitory. My roommate Kenny, it's like there's just memories certain times in your life where, man, that's where I kind of matured. I became an adult. Adulting. That's where my adulting started. Was at George Air Force Base. Shout out from Russia, bro. Please say, all right, all right. I don't read names because sometimes people, it's a fun, it's for fun. They're making jokes and stuff. I don't read that. But thank you for joining the live stream. SM Bacoor is perennial. Bacoor is near the coast, so water. Oh yeah, see that's the thing, right? Fortune. That's not just in Bacoor. That's in the entire Philippines. In my travels to the Philippines, anywhere you go here, any province, pretty much, I guess, even Baguio. I mean, even Baguio. You think Baguio is up in the mountains. They flood there. There's areas in Baguio that flood. Because I've seen it on video. I was like, it floods in Baguio? It's like, but it's just the way it is. Because the Philippines just gets so much rain. There are just areas where whenever the town or whenever the city gets built, there's just certain sections of whatever place you go in the Philippines, you're gonna get flood. Because that's why people even ask me sometimes, what do you think of this place? Does it flood? Pretty much anywhere you go in the Philippines, it'll flood. Because the thing about the Philippines, it's not like in the US, where in the US, they map out areas, like in Tucson, Arizona. They map out the area and they will have on the map. And I'm sure it's the same anywhere in the US. It's like the areas that are flood prone. They actually have government maps that tell you, don't build a house here because it floods there. Or if you build a house here, there's certain requirements because you're building in a flood prone area. Here in the Philippines, there's no such thing. I've never seen a map here that says flood prone. It's like when you're buying land here or anything, there's nothing, I can't go to the town of Numancia and says, can you show me your flood map here of Numancia? There's no such thing, so when you're buying land here, it's like, you got to do your research on your own. You got to like ask people, the neighborhood, like, hey, does it flood here? It's like, ask the older generation, the elderly people, because the people that's been in and around in that community, they will tell you what areas flood in their areas. Balikbayan guy, my friend John. Hello, Balikbayan guy. Magandang umaga, Ginno. Magandang umaga, kapatid. Kumusta? Mabuti ako. We're okay here. We enjoyed your video at James and Karen's. Oh, that was fun. I love hanging out with James, man. James is just a cool dude, man. James is a cool dude, man. I love his, I even told that to James, it's like we had dinner the other night and I was just telling him, man, I told him he doesn't have anything to worry. His channel will grow. His channel is going to grow because he's a genuine person. It's like what you see with James, he's genuine. He's not making up stuff. He's not, hyping whatever. He's not doing, it's all natural. That's he is. He's genuine. So it's hard to find people like that in the world now. Genuine people. That's why I love hanging out with him. James is cool, man. Did you guys? Yes, we did. We went to the 8 Ball Tavern. James had an order of French fries. I had an order of French fries, and then he had like the beef quesadilla, ground beef quesadilla, and Dazzle and I, we shared like the chicken quesadilla. Because I'm not a big eater, it's like, throughout the day I have to like snack on things. Like right now, I'm snacking on a pandesal. This is leftover. This is not new pandesal from today, so I had to like toast it some more in the toaster. I think I got two more pandesal left from yesterday. How is that place? The 8 Ball Tavern is great. I mean, it's like I said, it's probably got the best burger in Calibo. Genuine burger, 100% beef. Like Australian beef, a lot of meat on it. It's like a thick steak. Thick burger, and they also have steak. a little pricey now. I'm not gonna lie. Their prices there. It's a bar. It's a bar. Nice pool tables, air conditioned. So, but a little pricey. It's not the cheapest of meals in Calibo, but good food. Good food. I had Dazzle and I tried their grape shake. Yeah, that's the first time I've had grape shake, and it had pieces of grapes in it, and then inside the drink, and then they topped it with grapes. Pretty good, pretty good. I've never had grape like a grape smoothie, like a grape smoothie. It was pretty good. But we like going there. Dazzle likes to shoot pool, So when we go there, we didn't shoot pool that night, but we just because we were just talking, we were just having fun conversation, and we'll see them again tomorrow. Dazzle's birthday is tomorrow. I have it all set up already. It's gonna be at the La Casa Española. They have a karaoke bar on the fourth floor, and I rented out the karaoke bar, so it'll just be us, the people that friends of Dazzle and I's friends. We even got people coming from Iloilo City. My friend Jerry, the guy that I helped move to Iloilo City, he's coming with his girlfriend. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun night, and I'll try to live stream it because it's. They have Starlink. The manager of the place says they have Starlink. So I should be able to live stream it. But it's going to be it starts at 5 p.m. So it's going to be an odd time in the US. But at least it'll get recorded and then you can watch it. And I won't monetize it. So there's no issues with music of us singing karaoke. Or, that way. When you don't monetize a video, there's no problem if we're all singing, songs by Bon Jovi or I'm an 80s guy, so I like singing 80s music. So it should be a lot of fun. I ordered the food, I ordered the cake, so and then we get friends. So it's gonna be a great night tomorrow night. Skating Geezer, Ormoc, my people in Ormoc, and Skating Geezer. Good morning, Ginno from Ormoc. Yeah, I know, Ormoc City. I'm also glad to see U.S. meet with President Marcos Jr. I wish, though, the U.S. president could be better behaved and not discuss. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm used to how President Trump, he always has to put his other topics. I know he was kind of off focus, with that. Yeah, but the main thing I liked is it was you can tell that they like each other. That you can tell that they're gonna work together in the future. I saw the video about the trade agreement between Trump. Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, but when I was watching, Kip, it usually when trade deals happen, we won't, it's an agreement verbal, the details, the things on the details usually takes further down. We won't see all the details till down the road. Haven't watched it, but I'm glad they came to some sort of agreement. Yeah, I was expecting that anyway. You can tell from the time President Bongbong Marcos landed in Washington D.C. It was going to be a friendly visit. It's like smiles. And Pete Hegseth, he's been here to the Philippines. He was here not too long ago during Balikatan exercises. So I'm sure a lot of that stuff was ironed out already. The trip to Washington D.C. would be just to make sure you put pen to paper, make sure you agreed on stuff. HB, kamusta? Are you a big Black Sabbath fan? I'm not a big Black Sabbath fan. I'm not, I listen to metal, HD, because, my guys, when we were, like I said, I was stationed at George Air Force Base. Like Randy Busby, our friend Busby in Seattle, he's big on metal. He's a metal guy. Me, I'm more like the I guess you can call traditional, Bon Jovi. I love Bon Jovi. The typical rock bands in the 80s with the dudes with the long hair kind of thing. That's what I like. I like to listen, but I love '80s music. Pretty much, I'm stuck in the '80s. I always listen to '80s music. I was just listening to Billy Idol. I was like, Billy Idol, all right, you know. I saw him. I was on YouTube. I saw Billy Idol. He did like a thing with Miley Cyrus. I was like, you know, and Billy Idol, man, he's at least you know in his 60s already, maybe even 70, but he looks ripped, man. He looks like he's in good shape. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Yes, yes, rest in peace. But HD, greeting, HD, balik bang. All right, Ray. I am the Iron Man. Love that album. All right, I am the Iron Man. All right. I like the song. I like that song. Yep. I love that Crazy Train. Crazy Train is played during the break time. Oh, nice, nice. Well, yeah, I do notice that HD. A lot of like I listen to like I watch the NBA games, and they would throw in there like a lot of like 80s music. I hope the SR passes the savings to the people and don't keep the extra money as profit. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too, Edgar. But you know, for me, it's still, you know, SNR to me is a good deal here in the Philippines. I mean, the membership is only like 700 pesos, or about 14 pesos the whole year for the membership. That's pretty fair. You know, I think that's pretty fair. And then a lot of the things that I buy there, I like the granola cereal. Their oatmeal, I like buying my oatmeal there. The price is very reasonable. You know, it's like we buy like we always buy like a gigantic tub of Tide, you know, because that's the soap we use to wash our clothes. And I can get a gigantic tub of Tide, you know, for like 1,400, about 25 bucks. And that thing lasts us for months, man. So to me, you can get good deals at SNR. I like shopping at SNR. Chinese students, big problem in Australia, but the government loves the money. University of Sydney has 100,000 students, and is international students. Majority Chinese. They drive up housing. Oh. I don't know, you know, if that's an issue here in the Philippines, JB. I don't hear it. At one time I read articles that there's certain areas in the Philippines where they had Chinese college students, but I don't hear them anymore. You know, I don't. I think they might have sent. You know, they might have went back to China because even in Boracay, there used to be like thousands of Chinese I see in Boracay. I don't see them anymore. If the group that I see more are Koreans. There's more Korean. Still less than what they used to, but you see more Koreans now than China. I don't see many Chinese people now that come from China to our province of Aklan. There used to be a flight from like Wuhan, China, like another part of China, direct to like Kalibo. Those flights are gone, so we don't see. Used to be like 400 Chinese come to Kalibo on one flight, and there would be like 3 or 4 flights a week, but we don't see that anymore. They're not coming to Boracay Island anymore. He is a legend. Yes, he is I remember they even had that reality show, Ozzy, it's like, I remember when I was in the US, I saw that show. For a while here, the Chinese influx in previous admin was good for some people. They rent houses and condos, pay full rent here in rent and cash. But when they leave, the condos is in shambles. Yeah. Even among their fellow Chinese, they hurt each other physically. I learned this when my wife Chi had Chinese patients in the ER because of physical. Oh man. Yeah, I know here in the Philippines, that's why all the POGO, that illegal online gambling, the gambling was going on in China, but their structure was here. Their servers, they would they basically would like occupy these condos in Manila, and that's they would set up shop. You know, that's where they would put their infrastructure, their servers, and they had Chinese people there working that, however, that Chinese gambling. They were managing it from here in the Philippines, but I think most of that has been closed here in the Philippines. I mean, you can never say, because it's illegal, so I'm sure somewhere in the Philippines, they found somebody hidden, but, they're always catching. They're always catching those illegal activity, but most of it is gone now. Camp Pendleton, that Camp Pendleton, San Diego, right? San Diego, near San Diego area. All those projects were used to incur debt, never finishing and never staying on budget. Also, never hiring the locals that help out the county. Yes, and that was happening. That was happening here in the Philippines. They were building roads here. The Chinese supposedly were building roads for Filipinos, but they were bringing in Chinese to build the roads, So, like I said, I wouldn't trust China with doing anything, man. It's like I wouldn't do any business with China because you're probably always on the wrong end when you do business with China. They don't speak any English. They usually have a Pinoy handler who explains things when asked by Chi. Chi needed to learn the service so she knows how to treat them, but they pay cash always. Yes, and that's the thing, it's like, unfortunately, they take advantage of that. The Chinese will always take advantage of countries that need their cash. They're doing that not just in the Philippines, they're doing that all over the world, in Africa, places like that. Brazil, they're like getting into this country, Iran, they're getting these countries in debt so that they can take their assets. Shout out to my hometown. All right, shout out to all right. Fortune. So on one side, good business for the hospital, but they are gone now. Yes, they are. Oh, I'm glad to hear that they are gone now. Fortune, it's like I said, I think a lot of Filipinos that I know, that I talked to, when the Chinese were here, when they were doing a lot of shady things here in the Philippines, the Filipinos were just tolerating them because, the money. The Filipinos know the amount of money the Chinese were bringing here, but there comes a point when they're doing too many shady things, like online gambling, human trafficking, drugs. That there comes a point where you got to get rid of that stuff from here. Good day, Ginno. Chat. All right, good day, Mom Janet. Good morning. Good morning. Is Libras. What you see is what you get. Yes, and that's what I like about James. It's like I said, James is genuine. That's it's like, and I love that about him. It's like there's no fakeness. There's no, he's the real deal. He's the genuine article, and I like people like that because I don't have to worry about them. It's like you see the person's good in front of you. He's got a good heart. Glenn de los Trico. Hello, Ginno and everyone. Hello. Glenn, hello. Old man. Oh, thank you. Umbrella Fund. Thank you, old man. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. We'll add it to the party money tomorrow. I'm sure Dazzle's birthday party. It kind of like we started with like just a small group, but you know how that is. It's like the group is growing. I mean, the room will fit, I think, 16 people. So if we're over a little bit, some might have to they got like a garden furniture outside, so we can hang out. It's on the fourth floor, so it should be pretty nice and breezy. Hopefully no rain, but if it rains, not a big deal because the karaoke bar's inside, is air conditioned. So even if it rains, the party will go on even if it rains tomorrow. Jamie Malat, there is suburb here in Sydney where street signs are now in Chinese, not even English. Ooh, I would not expect that. I would not expect that, JB, due to the amount of Chinese. You go to the restaurant and the menu is Chinese. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's probably similar to what I noticed the last time I went to Angeles City to visit my friend, Ida. Dazzle and I, we stayed at Ida's house at Sapang Bato Gate by the old Clark Air Base. And we would go to town. We would go to Angeles City. And Angeles City turned, it's like when you go out the Friendship Gate there's like Koreatown now. It's like everything's like written in Korean grocery, Korean restaurants, even the buildings had like Korean, it's like, I couldn't read it. I couldn't read it. I was like, but lots of Koreans in Angeles City is what I know. So I'm sure it's similar to that it feels crazy because you're in the Philippines and then, it feels like you're in Korea. Old man, gratitude from Gian. Thank you again. Thank you again, old man. Hi Janet, how are you? Great to see you here. Thank you. Balik, I'm gardening today. Oh, nice. Mom here gardens too. Mom Janet, she loves, her garden is expanding. Like I said, I cemented all our dirt here, grass area. We used to have carabao grass growing all over, but I cemented it. But Mom's got all these clay pots now that she's growing different plants. Like she's got lemon, guava, she got tomatoes in there, she got ginger. She's growing like all kinds of stuff out there, which is nice. It's like she's got a hobby. Hey Daniel, good morning. My good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. Hello Daniel. All is well here, Daniel. Lot of rain. Looks like we're just gonna stay in today, relax. Leanna doesn't have school. After the live stream, when she wakes up though, we'll work on some of her schoolwork. I always work with Leanna on her English, so we'll do some English lessons today, just to keep her sharp. When all these rainy days, no school days, I try to take advantage of it and add to to Leanna's education. And yesterday they installed the new doors. New doors came out nice. It's got a new handle, lock, and everything at Leanna and Mom's room and our room. So that turned out really nice. It cost me like 10,000 pesos for both doors. Brand new doors, brand new every hinges installation. So 10,000, under $200 to get new doors installed and everything. So that's one thing. Like I said, it's like, if you want things replaced, this is a tiny home, but it's not expensive to upgrade. Right now they're building custom-made bunk bed for Mom and Leanna to open up their room, give them more space, and it'll have storage on the bottom. And the wood they're using is mahogany, and mahogany is supposed to be good wood, as far as sturdiness. It's not it won't break easy, so, and that's gonna cost me about 12,000. A custom-made mahogany, and they're assembling it now, but because it's gonna be a tight fit getting it up there, so they're gonna take it up there in pieces and then assemble it and they'll create a storage for Leanna too on top, so it's gonna be cool, just so they'll have more space, because our house is tiny. It's like a 430 square foot, and their room's pretty tiny. So that will at least gain them more space. That's why we can't, that's why I always tell you guys, we can't buy a lot of stuff. We can't put a lot of things in our tiny home here. There's four of us in a 430 square foot home. So it's good that it's up and down because our bedrooms are upstairs, and then downstairs it's kind of like this one room is like our living room, kitchen, everything, dining, everything in this one room here. But we like it, I've always liked this house because it's tiny, not a lot to clean, it's easy to maintain, not a lot of things to break in it. And I think we got a good deal when we bought it. It's like we paid back in 2015, we paid 1.5 million pesos for the house and the lot. 88 square meters on the lot, 40 square meters on the house. So 1.5 million is about $27,000, and I paid the down payment of $5,000. So the rest, the $22,000, I loaned from Banco de Oro. Now, 15-year loan. We're on our 11th year now, so in 5 years we'll get this house paid off. Our payment here is about $200 a month, so it's nice on the budget. It's easy for me to budget because I don't even look at it, because what I do with Banco de Oro, I have it set up to where my savings account and my ATM at Banco de Oro, my mortgage just gets taken out of the savings. So I just make sure there's always money in the savings, and then at the first of the month, they just take it out. I don't even notice it. It's almost just like an ATM withdrawal. Because here in the Philippines, most people, when you withdraw money, it's usually 10,000. 10,000 pesos is the common amount that people withdraw each time on the ATM, and that's about $200. We have like Dazzle and I, we have like all the accounts. She has access to all the accounts. She has her own bank account with Metro Bank. She's got a savings. She's got a ATM, and then we have my account BDO with the mortgage, and then our PNB account which is an original account that I opened in Los Angeles, California, and then I transferred the account to Calibo, Aklan. So we have three banks. We have three banks and we have three ATMs. And the reason for that is like a lot of times here in the province, the ATMs here don't work for your specific bank. It'll be offline, out of money, something, especially on the weekend. So it's nice that we have three cards. So we can use this one, use this one, use it. It's a way for us to get around, because sometimes, most of the ATMs don't work, in our area. I'm happy for you enjoying. All right. Balik. Janin, all right. Edgar. That's the issue when importing culture so different from your own. There is no assimilation into it. It's invasion. Janet, we're okay here. Humid. Oh, it's hot and humid. That's usually the weather here, John Balikbayan guy. But here right now, because of the rain, we're not even using our AC, because when it's rainy season, when it's raining, we get that nice breeze. We just open our window. We got screen on all our window. It's kind of cool. We have the sliding. You open the window, you slide the window, and then you slide in the screen, the window screen, so bugs don't get in. I'm on a break and receive notification next. Grilled steaks and veggies tomorrow. Ooh, wow, sturgeon. I'm sure you meant sturgeon, sturgeon mountain, but like grilled steaks. Wow, nice, very nice. Black Sabbath was good. Led Zeppelin was the bomb. Yeah, I listen to Led Zeppelin. I think I listen more to Led Zeppelin than Black Sabbath, because I remember Busby, our friend, he was big on Led Zeppelin. And when you live in the in the 80s, when I joined the military, 1984, living in the dormitory, you just heard all kinds of music. Because when you're living in a military dormitory, it's multiple nationalities, multiple people. But and then what's funny is back then in the 80s, I remember everybody had those gigantic speakers. You know, some of them are expensive, like the Bose speaker. I remember, but everybody had a gigantic speaker, and they would put it. They'll open their door of their dormitory. They'll put it on their door, or they'll trap it by the window. You lift the window, you put the speaker, you trap it. That way, it's holding there, and everybody's got that. You know, like the cassette deck. You know, cassette deck. That was even before the CD. You know, the CD was an upgrade, but it was like the cassette deck was the thing I remember. I was past the 8-track already, and I know about 8-track, but when I went to the dorms in '84, it was more that double cassette deck. You know, where you made cassettes, you recorded cassette, and the record player. The record player was still popular. You had like 33. And then the 45s, the records. But in the dorms back then, it was like competing music. You know, Friday night when everybody gets off work Friday in the evening. I mean, our dormitory, it was an old building. Our dormitory was like 2 stories high, made of wood, mostly wood, and it had a short balcony. And our building would be like shaking from all the loud music that was being played by all the different rooms would be blasting their stereo. And those were some of the music. Some of the music was Led Zeppelin. You know, that's where I learned, because I didn't know a lot of that music. You know, because when I was in Long Beach, Wilson, I was just listening to like typical pop music. You know, it's like but when I got to George, I know I was able, you know, I was exposed, and some country music even, you know, I was exposed to different types of music, because, you know, when you get to a military base, it's just a mixture of people. You know, people come from Boston, people from Kansas, my buddy Kurt from Kansas, Leo from Boston, Busby from Seattle, you know, so we're like all these kids back then. We were all kids, 17, 18-year-old, and we're thrown in together, you know. That's why we remain friends. To this day, we remain friends. My friend Virene, she's from West Virginia. I never met a person from West Virginia, you know, before I met her. Just a cool time of my life, you know, lifelong friends. And to this day, I'm friends with them on Facebook. We always like greet each other. We're always like happy to like share our pictures with each other. I know, right? Billy Idol had the, you know, he's got the, you know, and the Billy Idol. What I like was like he always kind of like makes the mean face, like the Rebel Yell. You know, that I was listening to Rebel Yell the other day. I was like, oh man, I remember that tune, man. I love Billy Idol. I remember Billy Idol specifically because my roommate Kenny. It was weird because Kenny was my first roommate in the military. I was from Long Beach, California. You know, I surfed in Long Beach, California, and he's from like Lake Elsinore. He's like from Orange County. That's not very far from Long Beach, and he also surfed. So we had that connection. I mean, we were roommates. And Kenny, you know, he's like blonde anyway, but he would even beach blonde his hair. He used to, you know, they used to like questionable in the military even back then because he would like bleach blonde his hair, and they were like, is that allowed? And Kenny used to like spike his hair. He likes, you know, at work, of course, his hair is like toned down because he's military. But the minute Friday night hits and we had to go to the Airman's Club, the Airman's Club is like the club where we all went on base and we could drink there. There's like dancing. Kenny would like spike his hair, and it's like, he's got like a bleach hair, you know, it's like and I think they eventually told him he can't do that. He can't bleach his hair because it's like, it's not natural. It's not natural. But I still remember, and Kenny, he's in France now, of all places. He's like a local California kid. He ended up going to France because he met a French girl, and he's now like I mean, Kenny was like the typical California surfer dude. Now he lives in France, like in the south of France. He's like, he has horses. You know, it's like, it's amazing how that happened. But me and him still friends to this day. Pink Floyd took a minute for me. Dark Side was the best album. Yeah, Pink Floyd. I remember that Pink Floyd's got that triangle thing on the album. Yeah, I remember Dark Side of the Moon. Best album. Yes. I think everybody had that album, right? Mom Janet, ever in the dorms, some of that music, sometimes we would just be listening. We would be hanging out. Like we had a day room is what they call it. It was actually our day room was separate from where the dormitory was. We had to walk to our day room. It was a one-story bungalow type area. And on our day room, there was a big screen TV. They had two pool tables and they had a stereo system there. So that was it's a big day room, could fit like 25, 30 people. And a lot of times we would hang out at the day room and people would, play music, shoot pool, It was fun for me. That's why I have fond memories of the military, because the camaraderie in the military, you just don't get that when you work in this. After I left the military 20 years, I worked at St. Mary's Hospital. You don't have that same bond, same camaraderie. You basically, like when you're a civilian, you're working at a civilian hospital. You clock in, you clock out, and then when you clock in, you're so busy with your job. That you don't have time to really hang out. In the military, you always had a lot of time, to hang out, talk about our life and things like that. Fortune, SNR is owned by Lucio Co., owner of Pure Gold and people. I've seen Pure Gold. We don't have that. Fortune here in Aklan. I have not seen Pure Gold. Maybe the last time I saw Pure Gold was in Bacolod. When with Dazzle and I, we went with our friend from Atlanta. We took him to Bacolod, and I did see Pure Gold. I see Pure Gold in Bacolod, but I haven't seen that here. I wonder if Iloilo has Pure Gold, but I haven't seen it in Aklan Province, Pure Gold. Fortune, who was your favorite music band? Ooh, Fortune, that. Me, I would say for me, I just love Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was my thing. I love Bon Jovi, and I still listen to Bon Jovi. Howdy, Janet. Barangay, I am late because I was chasing those 30-year-olds that are a bit faster. Daniel, you're chasing 30 years old. That's funny. What advice do you give people? For me, my channel was that Gian 31. The advice I give people, mostly people reach out to me offline, through my WhatsApp, my email, my messenger. A lot of people that reach out to me, they want to retire here in the Philippines. They want to move here to the Philippines. I've been retired here now. I came here in 2011. So 14 years now, I'm retired here in the Philippines. I retired early. I was 45 years old. I decided to retire just on my military pension alone. It's a decent pension, good pension. It's like I'm blessed that I have that pension. So it allowed me to retire early here. But I have to live frugal. And that's kind of our channel. It's like there's people that move here, retire here, that don't have to worry about being frugal because, they have big retirement pensions. Mine is decent, but ever since I got here, I have to budget. It's like, and it's worked out because from the time I got here, my first year and now a 14th year, I'm able to save portion of my military pension. And that's why I always advise people, if you plan on retiring or moving to the Philippines, whatever income you have or whatever pension you have to live below it. That way, you made it. To me, that was kind of like my aha moment. After living here 3 months, I was in Boracay Island. Of course, coming here, I had an idea that I could make it work because I was single at the time, pension, and then I found a studio apartment in Boracay. I had an idea that I was going to make it, but you can do all the planning that you can do all the research, all YouTube, but you don't really know until you get here. You don't really know until you're actually living here month to month. There's stuff that you have to pay here, pay there. It's like you don't really know until you get here. And for me, my aha moment happened 3 months. After 3 months, I was like, man, I could save money every month I'm retired. I'm retired in the Philippines, and from my pension alone, from the monthly income I'm getting, I'm actually saving. So to me, that if there's an advice I have for anyone out there, if you do plan on moving, not just to the Philippines, Thailand, Panama, Mexico, anywhere you go, is whatever monthly income you have, whatever monthly pension you have, live below that. If you're able to save, let's say $200, $300 a month out of your pension, you got it made, because you can build a nest egg while you're in retirement. And to me, that's that was, like when I realized that, I said, oh man, I can live here. I can have a good life in the Philippines. And it wasn't like I'm frugal, but I also treat myself. It's like I went on tours like in Southeast Asia. I went to Singapore. I went to Thailand. I traveled the Philippines. So it's not like I'm frugal, but I also want to have fun. Good balance. There's a thing about frugality, being frugal, but you also have to treat yourself once in a while. Oh yeah, March Air Force Base. I've been to March. I had a job. Part of my job when I was at George Air Force Base, I drove a van. It was like a 15, 16 passenger van, that blue Air Force van. I was the driver for that because I work in the hospital. I was my office at the time was called patient administration, and in patient administration, in Victorville area at George Air Force Base, like Apple Valley, Hesperia, there's a lot of retirees, a lot of military retirees, not just Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine, retired in the area. Oh, Joel, I'm on the live stream. I'm on the live stream, brother.
Oh
All
no.
right, all right. I'll call you later. I'll call you after the live stream.
All right, thanks.
All right, Joel. Yeah. So my job, was like driving that van every week. I remember it was a Wednesday. What would happen is like George Hospital at the time was a small hospital. March was a bigger hospital. I think March was like a regional hospital. And so I would take patients every week to March Air Force Base. I would drop patients there. And I would also take patients to Balboa Navy Hospital in San Diego. So that was every Wednesday. I would leave like 7 a.m. Everybody got on board the van. It's like I would take a few of them to March. I would tell them, okay, it wasn't a long drive from Victorville to March, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. I would drop them off at March, and I'd tell them, okay, I'll be back here at like 3 p.m. And then I would go to Balboa, take the patients to Balboa, and then same thing. I would wait for the patients. I would park the van, of course, by Balboa Naval Hospital, and I can go around the base. I would eat my lunch, do that, and then when everybody, I assembled them on the van. I tell them, okay, be here like at 1 p.m. When all your appointments are done, and then I did the same thing. So it was a fun job for me because the retirees, especially, they made you feel good. They were like, here I was, 17, 18-year-old driving a van. And they were like, we're proud of you, son. It's like, thank you for your service. They're always telling me that. So even at that point, I knew I would make the Air Force my career because I like it's like, seeing people like they're proud of you. It's like Americans, man. One thing about Americans, they're proud, when they see young people, 17, 18, 19-year olds serving their country. They're proud. And then a lot of them, of course, were military related to the military. Janet, like, we will pray for your good health. All right, all right. Good, good. Let's all pray for Mom Janet's good health. Fortune, it's overlooking the base in Sangley Point. Oh, okay. All right. One of these days, I'll make it to your area there, Fortune. If I had known you a few years ago, we took our car from Caticlan to Batangas and we drove through that area, Batangas, Laguna. I don't think we hit Cavite. We hit Tagaytay, But I would love to see all that. I would love to see Sangley Point. You know, Edgar, you're doing it wrong. It's like fishing. You use the right bait to catch the best fish. Chasing after, it scares. Chasing after them always scares them off. But like, I hope it's a good assessment. Thus far, 12 years surgery, no diagnosis. It's osteoporosis. Um, it's not much cause of the heart. Okay, all right. Well, I hope everything goes well, Mom Janet. This isn't Edgar's first. This isn't Edgar's first rodeo. But like, I'm deep studying options, alternatives. If I can get to casino alone, I'm going to handle this. No catches, yet had to stop and take a nap. Take a nap. Just slow down. All right. Hey, James and Karen. All right, all right. 8 Ball was great. Great food. Yeah, I know. James, Dazzle loves that chicken quesadilla there. That's always her favorite there. I've had the burger there. I like the burger. Leanna and I are the burger eaters. We've eaten the burger there at the 8 Ball, but I just it's a lot for me to eat the burger. That's the thing, you know. It's like their burger's good size. I might be able to eat half of it and end up taking half of it home, but so usually like Leanna and I would share if I ordered a burger. But Leanna, she can eat the whole burger, you know. So, but they do have good burgers at the 8 Ball. It's a milestone for Dazzle. 30th birthday. It is. That's why I told Dazzle, because usually Fortune, we only our birthdays, like my birthday, Leanna's birthday, Mom's birthday. Usually we just go make a simple dinner. We just go out to dinner, pick our favorite restaurant, have a cake. Usually we it's not a big thing, you know. But I wanted Dazzle to have a big birthday this time. It's her 30th, you know. 30th is a mile. That's why I told Dazzle. So it's a milestone. 30th birthday is a milestone. Yes, Carl. It was replaced. The doors are installed. Really nice new doors in Leanna and Mom's room. In our room, we got. It's got like a handle, latches. It's got lock. Really nice. Really nice. And the doors only cost us 10,000 pesos, about $200 for both rooms. The cost of the door and the cost of installation. So. And you know, it's custom built. You know, they measured the door and everything, so it's perfect fit. The only thing we're waiting on now is the bunk beds. The bunk beds, I think next week is when they'll assemble the bunk beds in Mom and Leanna's room, because right now they're sharing a bed. So the bunk beds will help give them more space, and then storage on the bottom, storage on the top. They're building a custom-made bunk bed made of mahogany. Mahogany. It's supposed to be good, you know, strong wood, mahogany. So, James, hello, James and Karen. All right, and we will see James and Karen tomorrow. Tomorrow at Dazzle's birthday. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. Karaoke singing. AB, you're right, maybe. I should get some lessons from Edgar. Good morning, guys. Nice. I can't wait to try it out next year. Yes. Yeah, no worries, John. When you come, balikbayan guy, when you come here, you know, we'll go to the 8 Ball Tavern. James is a good old farm boy. He is a real, and he was raised the right way. Yes, he is. Like I said, you know, it's like that's why what the thing that I like most about James is he's a genuine guy. You know, it's what you see is what you get. He's a good guy. Fortune, Mom Janet, I like the Beatles. Oh, I like the Beatles too, man. I know a lot of Beatles. I think because Fortune, I grew up in the 70s. And I remember in the 70s here in the Philippines, my relatives played a lot of Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, you know, Hey Jude. You know, I know all the Beatles songs. The Beatles were like big here in the Philippines in the 70s. I don't know that Fralipolipi. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. I'll have to look that up, Fortune. I don't from Norway. I don't think I've listened to anything from Norway, but I'll take a picture of that and see what that music's all about. And oh, thank you so much, Mom Janet. Happy birthday! Drinks on me. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. It's gonna be a great party, and I'm gonna live stream the party. There's supposedly Starlink at that karaoke bar, so I'll be able to live stream it. I won't monetize it though, so there's no issues with music or anything like that. That way, you guys can see it. You know, I just want people to be able to see what's going on during the birthday celebration. I like old songs, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yeah, I pretty much, I think, you know, like I said, I'm stuck in the 80s. I love the 80s music, but I'll listen to 60s and 70s. I just don't know much after the 80s. It seems like the 90s, the 2000s, I just don't know much of that music anymore. JB, hello, JB. Ginno, please let Dazzle know I sent present. No worries, no worries. I will tell her that you sent a present. Thank you again, Mom Jen. I already know anyway that, you know, I know Daniel sent a present already for Dazzle. JP, my friend Gray, you know, Mom Janet. So I'm making a list. You know, Dazzle knows. Dazzle knows. She goes through the video, you know, like my live stream in the morning. Later on, I know she watches it. Farmer looks like a legit farmer. Oh man, James knows everything, man. He's a farmer. James knows a lot about farming, raising animals, planting corn. You know, you name it, man. James is a legit farmer. Fortune, oh yes, a Beatles fan. Did you get the best of CD? I will be your wingman. That's all right. The wingman. The woman will see my. That's funny. You're gonna be. My friend Gray. He called me. I'm like we were in Boracay. He was there for 2 weeks. He called me like he told me, Ginno, you are the worst wingman ever. You know, because what would I know about being a wingman, man? I've been married now. It'll be 10 years that I've been married. I've been dated for so long, you know. And Gray, it was Gray, Dazzle, and I. We would like go out in the evening time in Boracay, and Gray's like, man, you're like the worst wingman ever. Is this James? Carol both. Hey, Karen. Odds are it's James. Yes. Have met regular guy or pro life? No, I have not met though. I think they're in a different area. I don't think they're in Panay Island. I think they're in like Dumaguete. I think they're in Dumaguete, but I have not met them. I've met a lot of the vloggers that are here in Panay Island, like Frankenfell, you know, that Philippines Life Michael, the Canadian Beaver, the Texas Filipino, and then James and Karen, you know. So the ones in Panay Island I've met, but not the ones that are outside Panay Island. It was clarified that zero tariffs will just be for U.S. automobiles, so they can come back to the Philippine market, currently dominated by Japanese brands. All right, Fortune. I know, even in our community here, Fortune, I see a lot of Ford. I see a lot of Ford. Once in a while, I'll see like Chevy, but not many. Most of the car, because I know there's a Ford dealership in Rojas City, and there's also a Ford dealership at Iloilo City. So I do see Ford, but Chevy, once in a while I see a Chevy, but So I might be able to see more American cars there now. I see a Mustang. Man, every time I see a Mustang here, I'm like, whoa, man, the Mustang made it here. You know, it's like, and you can hear them. You know, when I'm on the highway here, that Mustang, when they pass you, like, you know, the engine be like, I was like, man, that was my car in the US. I had a Mustang. So that's why when I see them, I'm like, oh, man, a nice Mustang. We can take because the Daniel and Edgar, they're gonna scare the Pinoy away. That's funny. That's funny. Advance happy birthday. Yes, thank you, Ray. I'll tell Dazzle. I'll tell everyone. She'll watch this anyway. She'll watch. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you, JB. I think Pro Traveler is in Dumaguete. Hey, all right, second round. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kib. Second round, man, we're gonna have a lot of drinks. I'm not a drinker anyway. I might have one beer for the whole night, like I did for the Canadian Beaver, just as a ceremonial. But I don't drink anymore, you know. So, and Dazzle, she's pretty good actually. When if I drink my one beer, chances are Dazzle will drink half of it. She, you know, she heard that you know, my doctor said I can drink. It's not like I'm restricted for drinking in moderation. But, you know, of course, Dazzle's always so protective. And I don't mind, you know, it's like, you know, I don't miss drinking at all. You know, it's like I've done enough drinking in my military career that I don't miss, you know. I'll taste it, you know, I'll do a San Miguel Light. You know, I might finish one bottle, but I'm good. I'm good with it. That called an auto debit arrangement. Auto debit arrangement. Okay, man, I gotta like research that now, Fortune. You're making me research some things because I want to know these things, Fortune. Auto debit arrangement. Thank you again, Kip. Thank you for the second round of drinks. Thank you, Kip. Thank you for your support. All right, thank you. My faves are Shawshank Redemption. Yo, I love that movie. A Few Good Men, man. Me and you will get along, Fortune. We like the same movies, man. Thank you, Kip. All right, nice job. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. All right. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Nobody's sick. Nobody's got a cold anymore. Everybody's healthy. So we're just gonna rest today. We're not gonna do anything because it's raining outside. So we'll wait for tomorrow, for tomorrow's festivities. Yes, must watch A Few Good Men. Never gets old. Never gets old. Jack Nicholson, man. And Tom Cruise. That movie never gets old. I can watch that again. Time for me to watch it again, actually. I memorized some of the lines. Me too, man. You want me on that wall. Quoted here in our chat. Sentiment. Love the ending. When we are one side of Peanut, the woman will run to the other side of the island. They're gonna run to the other side of the island. You guys are funny. Edgar and you both will be each other's wingman. You know, Daniel is Edgar's wingman, and then Edgar is vice versa. When Ginno said he followed orders, yes, that's how I am, man. You know, it's like I guess, I'm old school military. I came in '84. I just followed orders, man. 20 years till I don't recall ever like disobeying an order. I just follow orders. I was trained that way. I know the newer military now, that's allowed, question orders. There's like, but I'm just old school. I'm old school, man. The way, it's like, I trusted my superiors and I followed orders. Shawshank is all-time classic. You're all me too. You're a lousy ball player. Plus the The bank angle, the bank. Oh yeah, that's right. Fortune's like in finance, so he likes Andy Dufresne's banking angle, the accounting and all that. And haha, AFGM was well written. Ginno, Kashmir was just awesome. I had a chance to talk with, yes, the band. Very cool guys. Oh, nice, nice. Good AM again. All right. Hi, Gino. How's everything? Ozzy. I know. I heard that. My friend actually from Hawaii. First thing woke up this morning. He sends a message to me. He says Ozzy passed away. The big issues that have the government paying the rent, food, power, and more. So ask jack up rent, everything for Americans. There was a theory Led Zeppelin was lyrics in reverse. I don't believe it. Yeah, I've heard that. I think everybody's heard that. I don't believe it either. I don't believe it either. A few good movies. This is my super. Never get tired of watching. I know. A few good men. It's like so good it doesn't need a part two. Or no, it doesn't. It was well directed. Colonel Jessup's angle. It was shot from below when he entered the court to show his power. But when arrested, the shot was from top. Oh, good notice there. Good notice there, HD. I'll have to watch the movie again now. I'll have to watch the movie again because I haven't seen it in a while now. My favorite is not made in... My t-shirt was not made in China. JB, all right. Kevin, he really had a very full life and recently performed. Yes, I know, right? I mean, Ozzy had a, good life, good life. James, Karen is still sleeping. Same with Dazzle. Same with Dazzle, James. Dazzle sleeps till like 10 but she stays up late. Last night she was watching, she was watching this series, Untamed. She said she started the Untamed series. Bana, the actor Eric Bana, I think Eric Bana, but it was a good series. She said, when Dazzle starts a series in Netflix, I think it was 6 episodes. She won't stop. She'll finish it. That's why I know she stayed up late. And then Leanna stayed up late too because she knew she didn't have class today. They made an announcement even before yesterday evening. We got the notice, no school today. I know I'm past 10 that the movie Die Hard came out to the coast. Nice HD. Didn't notice that. Thanks for the info. Tom Cruise had many. Oh yeah. Tom Cruise, man. And he's still doing Top Gun, Tom Cruise keeps doing Top Gun movies. Yes, James. Hey, Libra brother. Yes. Old man. I used to live near Temecula and worked in Norco. All right. I'll have to, I've heard of Temecula, but I'll have to look it up now. I have to look it up now. I noticed that most Filipinas are not early risers. They're not early risers. And that's the truth, man. Filipinas like to sleep in, HD. They like to stay up late. I know mom's the only one that wakes up early with me. She'll have coffee, but now after she has coffee, I think she's back up, sleeping again. But they like to they watch Korean drama. They're here on our TV. The 3 of them are sitting there by the couch and they're watching Korean drama here at night. And depending on the Korean drama, that's why they end up staying up late. They ended up staying. Me, I'm always in bed by 8 p.m. That's why I wake up early. Did you watch Interview of the Vampire? Yeah, that's a good movie too. I haven't seen that in a long time too. I'm not into that type. Sorry. I took music in college and we had to go back to classical Baroque period and come forward. So I developed a love for all. Oh, nice, nice. I was talking to Leanna the other day about that. I asked her, you guys don't have any music class? Because when I went to school in Letran, when I was in elementary school, we had a music class. We had to learn to read notes and everything, but I guess they don't do that in public school here. She doesn't have a music class. So probably I'll have to find like an instructor or something, like an off school activity for her. Maybe have her learn guitar or something. Lucio Co. started with Pure Gold. Most sari-sari stores get their stock from Pure Gold. Oh, okay. All right. So that's what Pure Gold. I haven't been inside the Pure Gold, Fortune. We don't have it here in Aklan, so I've never been inside of it. I've only seen it from the outside when we went to Bacolod. That is my experience, APEC. That is my experience. That is, yeah, they like to sleep in, right, James? Sticks, Boston. JP, all right, JP. Yeah, I've listened to all of those, JP, that's like the, the 80s, part of the 80s and 70s and 80s music. Hey, hi everyone. Magandang umaga, kuya. Magandang umaga, Olson, Aliyah, and Isaiah from Columbia, South Carolina. Magandang umaga. Yo, Ginno. All right. My good friend Tim in Las Vegas. What's up, Tim? Must be keeping her up at night. Ginno, wow, what a remarkable story. Love it. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I got many stories, man. That's one thing about me. It's like I got all these stories. I could keep. That's why I'm good. I think that's why I'm good on these live streams. I got all these stories in my head, man. A lot of experiences in my life. Just because, I had to grow up fast. Joining the military at 17. I had to grow up. I had to mature fast. The military sped up my maturity. Even before that, even before I joined the military, when I was in Long Beach, California, I was going through high school. I worked at Taco Bell for like 2 years, part-time, when not in school, and then on the weekends, I was working at Taco Bell. Kuya Ginno, how or what did make you decide to retire that age and go back to the PI? Ooh, good. It's like I'm actually working on a video. It's like what made me decide. For me, it was like initially I always knew because I was stationed at Clark Air Base, late 80s, 19 till 91 till Pinatubo. I met a lot of retirees. Back then in the late 80s in Angeles City, also Olongapo City with Subic Naval Base, I had a lot of retiree friends in that area. And I just saw their life. I just remembered most of the guys that I met, they were all in their 40s. And I'm like, I always envisioned retired people like in their 60s, 60 and above. I never imagined retired people in their 40s, and they were here in the Philippines already because some of them were our patients at the hospital. They were married to Filipinas. They had a dependent wife. I would see their IDs. They would come up to the hospital, dependent wife and dependent son, dependent daughter of a retired Air Force or retired Army. And I was like, they're retired here in the Philippines. And then I became friends with a couple of them, invited me to their house, and they had nice houses in Angeles City at the time. I just knew, I was like, wow, it's like I couldn't afford, and that's when they would say, oh yeah, you can afford to retire here in the Philippines on your pension, just do your years in the military. And back then, I was only been in the military like 6 years, 7 years, so I was still a long way from. I had just re-enlisted when I got assigned to the Philippines, and but that was always in the back burner. That was always that was kind of always my thinking was like, it would be nice to retire early, retire in your 40s. That way you can still do things, and that's what exactly like made me made the jump, because when I was working in Tucson, Arizona, I was making good money. It's like I had my military pension, and then I had my was a risk management coordinator at St. Mary's Hospital. I was making good money, but to me, it's like it was all about work, all about work for me anyway. When I was working in Tucson, Arizona, it just consumed me. It's like you know my only fun that I remember really that I did in Arizona is I rode. I was a road cycling. I had a road bike, and that was my fun. It's like on the weekends, on my off time. On the weekends, I would ride 4 or 5 hours on my road bike in Arizona. But to me, that was the only fun thing for me. Or mountain bike in the desert, I would do that. But the rest of the time, it was all about work. All about, and then the pressure of work. I didn't. It was a different pressure from the military. Military. Any enlisted person will tell you this. I did 20 years enlisted. When you're enlisted person in the military, it's one of the most stressful job you're gonna have. I think you can actually Google it, and you will see enlisted military personnel on the top 5 at least of the most stressful job you'll have in the world. In the U.S. anyway. So I went from that, and then when I went to the civilian side, it was still stressful. I thought the civilian would be easier working at St. Mary's Hospital. It was still stressful because it was a different dynamic. When you go from military, pressure, inspections, exercises, deadline. But in the civilian world, the pressure is some civilian hospital. In the military, we didn't have to worry about the hospital making money. Whereas in the civilian side, hospitals, unfortunately, they're there to make money. So if the hospital's not making money or department's not making money, there's pressure. There's people like the pressure is your person working next to you is getting laid off. And I never really thought I was ever gonna get laid off. But you always had that worry. It's like here you are, you're in a good job, but I would see people get laid off at Carondelet Health Network in Tucson. I retired in 2011, but I remember in 2008 that financial crisis that happened in the U.S. I think our hospital, Carondelet Health Network, our network of hospitals, they laid off like 20% of the people, and some of them were my friends, some of them people I knew in the hospital. So after I saw that, I was like, man, there has to be a better life. That's when I started thinking, it's like I didn't want that pressure anymore. I had enough pressure in my life. I was just my thinking was, I have this little bit of military pension. I'll just make it last here in the Philippines. I'll see if I can live off this money and not have to work anymore and have that worry all the time of like losing your job or like seeing people lose their job. That's not fun. That's not fun. It's like when you're working in an environment like that. And I don't know how it is now because it's been 14 years, but I think I'm getting that same sense from people that, working is, I know some people say they enjoy their job, but I didn't. It's like maybe in the military, there was, I enjoyed the camaraderie with people, but when I worked in the civilian for 7 years, I didn't enjoy my job. It was just a means. It was a way to make money. And for me, I think I balanced it to where, do I really want that money? I was 45. Did I really want to work another 17 years to get to Social Security age just to get more money, accumulate more money. So I decided to make the leap, man, make the leap of faith, come to the Philippines and retire instead of working. And never regretted a minute of it. It's been like one of the best decisions of my life because it's made my life simpler. My life here in the Philippines is so simple the last 14 years. It's like day to day, I own my time. I don't have a boss. It's just like, it's a good feeling to have that kind of life. Hope you're doing well. HD, could be. Hello, Janet. How's the AC? Mom Janet's AC is working now. I think that's the last few conversations. OB, all right, HD. Ginno, next time visit James, bring some balut. People are always making James eat balut. Balut, man, I don't even eat balut, man. I don't like balut, man. I'm not a fan of balut. I mean, Dazzle and Leanna and Mom, they can eat balut. They can eat 3-4 balutes at a time. I'll leave all the balut eating to them. I'm not a balut eater, man. I've tried it, but I've never eaten like the embryo, that duck. I've eaten like the yellow part, that like yolk part, because I'm looking at it. It looks like a yolk. It looks like a hard-boiled egg. So I eat that, but I'm not a fan of balut. I'm not gonna make James eat balut, man. People are pressuring him to eat balut. I said, man, you don't have to eat balut, man. I did not lose my Filipino card because I don't eat balut. It's like James don't need to earn his Filipino card by eating balut. Now fix. Whew. 1,700. Now, it says 1,700. Ooh, that is steep, Mom Janice. 1,700. Glad you made it. All right. Oh, whoa. Except, but needed. Good aim, JP. All right. Okay. Good day. May God continue to shine. All right. Good day. Have a good day, Mom Janet, and bless everyone. Having that mute when the phone call came in was perfect timing. LOL. LOL. I know, right? Because it's I have the other phone, but on this phone, that's good that it didn't ring on this phone. Until next time. All right. I gotta take care of dinner, Mom Janet. Till next time. Take care, Mom Janet. God bless. I'll be there for you. The song I was 14. 4 weeks, number 1. I'll be there for you. All right. Good memories. Have a great dinner. Ubi, thanks. I'm smiling. The best blessing is don't burn the steaks. Fortune, Tagaytay is in Cavite. Sangley Point is in Cavite City. If you look at the map, it's with the hook shape, the galleons during the Acapulco, then it became U.S. Yeah, I remember it being the U.S. Naval Base. I've heard that, Sangley Point. Oh, no problem, Joel. No problem. Also, now I know how far or how behind I am because of the call for Joel. So I gotta speed up here. That's why many from yes, I remember a lot of people joined the U.S. Navy from Sangley Point. Afternoon storms, common 30s. You will be 59 by August 1st. Friday. Then next year, you will triple citizen U.S. senior card. Yeah, and I have the PWD card. Fortune, I'm person with disability because of my cancer. They gave me a PWD card. Daniel, it's been hot. Could use a bit more rain. Ponds are getting a bit low. What type of wood were the doors? Actually, we ended up the doors becoming it's not wood at all. The frame they set it up. The frames are wood, where they put it. But I guess they're aluminum, part PVC is the doors. But the bunk bed is gonna be wood. At first, I wanted wood doors, but the guy said it might be too heavy, for that frame upstairs. So I said, okay, whatever works good, So that's why they decided on aluminum and PVC. I think is but they look nice. They're like black frame and then white. I'll film it one of these days. When we get the bunk beds, I'll film the room and everything again. Same year, Daniel. We are 94, 84. All right. Okay. Don't tell anyone. 8 tracks. I remember 8 tracks, Daniel. I remember 8 tracks. I remember VHA tapes. The very first tapes that came out here in the Philippines were beta tape. Betamax. What's the name of the tape? There were cases of brain-eating bacteria found this week. Oh, wow. Of camping this week, but no, wow, man. OB. I'm glad they found it before you went camping, man. I'm glad they found it before you went camping. I was 17 years old taking the Aussie scholarship exam at De La Salle University. Was rushing folk arts. I remember folk arts. I remember that in Manila Bay for a Lipo concert. They were supposed to be extending 2 weeks. All right, elated that will be my last summer in the US. All right, Daniel. On Bon Jovi. Mine is In These Arms. It's my life. I like it's my life. It's now or never. I love that song by Bon Jovi. Saw James eggplants. I would love to eat tortang talong with that. Oh yeah. Me, I like I said on the video, I like poke. I learned that when I went to Vegan Fortune. They had that on the menu. It's kind of like you boil and mush the eggplant and you put red onions and tomatoes on it, and then you can put like a side of bagoong and then an egg on it. But that's the way I like it. I like it the poke way. So excited for you, Daniel. We are right behind you. All right, we will all be here in the Philippines one day. We'll set up something where we maybe at one of Canadian Beaver's anniversary. We all, like I said, we'll have a table there, a Dazzle TV table or a James and Karen table. We'll all be there at the Canadian Beaver. We actually had Casey and the Sunshine Band. All right, I remember that. I remember Casey and the Sunshine Band. Play our senior grad. Oh, our senior graduation was Cool in the Gang. Celebration. Yeah, that was our jam for our graduation. Was Cool in the Gang. Ford used to have their regional factory in Santa Rosa, but sales were that's unfortunate. They moved I didn't know they moved to Bangkok, man. I know Santa Rosa. I know they do a lot of manufacturing in that area. I've seen that. I've seen that on some videos, Fortune. JP, I don't want to look for a Filipina. My tracker is broken. Best to just live my life and look for the ladies while... Yes. Yeah. Good idea, JP. Good idea. Songs are my faves in karaoke by many. Yeah, man. I love Bon Jovi, man. There are plenty of fish in the sea, for sure. Plenty of fish in the sea. Many folks confuse their income with their budget. If she wasn't as protective as she is, I would honestly be surprised. Make the drink a mango shake if you guys want, and I'll be happy for you. Yes, that's what it's all about. The day is all about Dazzle, and I told her that too. It's like that's why all her favorite food, Dazzle's. Dazzle always says she always has spaghetti at all her birthdays. So we have spaghetti, and then she likes baby back ribs, so we'll have baby back ribs. And then Leanna likes the fried chicken, so that's what we'll have at the birthday party. Journey songs are popular in the province. Yes. Because of Arnel Pineda, lead singer of Journey. That's why very popular here in the Philippines. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Obi. Oh, thank you, Olson. Thank you, Aliyah. Thank you, Isaiah. Appreciate it. We'll spend it at Dazzle's birthday party tomorrow. For your yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For the AD auto debit arrange, you can arrange video to enroll your bills. Just make sure to fund them. Yes, that's how my mortgage is. My mortgage, I don't have to do anything. They just take it out of my savings fortune. I think first of the month. They automatically. It's been like that since I started paying them 10 years ago. You know. And same thing, and not only that, they automatically take that. They also automatically pay like a mortgage insurance, and then our like property insurance. That all gets taken out of my savings. I don't have to worry about it. Usually May time is when they take the mortgage insurance. There's mom, and then they take out the property insurance too. May usually of every year. That's why I like how it rolls with Banco de Oro. I don't have to. I have no booklets. I don't have nothing to pay. Everything's automatic. I just make sure that my savings. I mean, I always keep at least like several thousand. Like at least I think about 100,000 pesos on that account. Thank you, OB and family. OB, most of the new members should meet up at the Beaver. Yes, exactly. We will, Daniel. We'll have a table at the Beaver's second anniversary. Well, I'll be there when I can. Beer with Ginno at the Beaver. All right. Well, Daniel, I would have loved to see KC live. I know, right? For me, I remember like our graduation party for our my class was in Disneyland. All the high schools in Southern California. It was in Disneyland, and Cool in the Gang. Cool in the Gang was the main attraction. Do you watch James Bond movies? I have. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm not gonna lie, but I used to watch all the James Bond movies when Roger Moore. Dazzle prefers like what was the guy's name? I forgot, but she prefers one of the. I mean, different James Bond. But I've been watching. Back in the 70s, growing up here, Roger Moore was really popular. So I watch all the James Bond movie when he was James Bond, and then later on, Pierce Brosnan. I like Pierce Brosnan. I like not just for James Bond, for his other movies too. Because SM is still closed. SM is still closed. That's funny. We don't have SM here, JB. No SM here in Aklan. We don't even have a Robinson. We don't have a SM. It's Gaisano Mall. It's a department store. Gaisano department store is what we have here in the province. Eric Banya, Eric Banya. He was the one on the Untamed. Untamed is a series. Good series. I saw a couple of it, when Dazzle was watching it, but I fell asleep. Of course, because I'm asleep at 8 p.m. Hey, Ginno, I also live in Temecula, Southern California, wine country, in between LA, OC. Oh, okay. I know. I had an idea. Of Temecula because I've heard of it. Lucky, I am equal opportunity eater. I'm an equal. All right, I got to speed up here because we're getting to the 2-hour mark here. I don't want to go over again. 20 minutes behind again. Oh no. Okay, I got to hurry up. I got looking forward to Beaver. All right, we're gonna make that happen at the Beaver for their second anniversary. Some more savory. Saw Bon Jovi before they were famous. Oh, nice. I think it's more than catch up. Once he reads your comment, it's not an issue yet until he gets more subscribed. Then you have to activate slow mode. I don't know what that is, HD. I don't know what slow mode is. Hi, all right. Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't spam. All right, JB. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Gino just gets into talking into detail certain topics he likes. We get some value along the way. Oh, thank you. Thank you, HD. HD. Gino is Yoda. I'm Yoda. I don't know about Yoda, but I do like Yoda, man. Yoda's cool. Yeah, that was Dazzle's costume of one of the Halloween parties we attended. She was Yoda, and I was Luke Skywalker. Listening to Gino is very calming. Helps me look at things from different. Ooh, somebody's weed whacking outside in the rain. In the rain. Hold on, let me close the window here. Yeah, we have gardeners here. They cut the grass, so and they use that. They don't mow the lawn here. They like weed whack everything. Everything's like tall grass doesn't matter. They just hit it with a weed whacker. I can improve as a person. You all good. You're gonna. Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Olson, for the kind words. Thank you. We are in the same boat, but different reasons. Hell, well, you stop dating. It's all good, Daniel. I don't know about that. We'll have to see him rearrange the words in a sentence first, okay? Is there a way to get SRV at 35? No longer SRRV. Must be 50 years old. It's like an eggplant salad. Ooh, eggplant salad. It is kind of like eggplant salad. It's like you just mush the eggplant, like boil it and mush it, and then you put fresh red onions. You don't even have to. Some people like to saute it. I like it raw. I like it like just red, and then the tomatoes. I just mix it all in like that. Yeah, like an eggplant salad. Yeah, I think you need to get 50 years old. Yeah, 50 years old now. 50 years old for SRRB now. Cool in the Gang, we're live. That would be so cool. Yeah, I know, right? Cool in the Gang, man. Sean Connery. Yeah, Daniel Craig, the other James Bond. Yeah, I forgot about. Man, how can I forget Sean Connery? Man, he's the coolest. You know, out of all the James Bonds, Sean Connery was like the coolest. Yikes, that stinks. Hope it works out. Oh wow, 9 p.m. already. Have a great day. All right, have a great day. I'm gonna end the live stream here soon anyway. Olsen, I like Roger Moore. So suave, debonair. Slow mode is when you have so many chat and it's hard to read the message. You as the carrier can activate it, which will give you time limit for each message. Oh, okay, all right. I'll have to, yeah, thank you, HD. I've never seen that. I've never seen the slow mode. All right, I think I got to the bottom though, man. This is like, Sean Connery was the best, 007. Yes, I have to agree with you, JP. Sean Connery was the coolest. He's the smoothest, you know. I like the voice, you know. It's like the way shaken, not stirred. You know, it's like I like how he's just like Sean Connery was just cool, man. Do you ever watch the Naked Gun movies? I have seen the Naked Gun movies. Those are pretty funny. I didn't know they had a new Naked Gun movie. But those are funny. Naked Gun movies are funny. For example, after sending a message, it takes 5 seconds for them to send. Oh, okay. HD. Thank you for clarifying that slow mode. Sean Connery used the 007 persona when he played Indiana Jones' dad. Oh yeah, I know. He's just cool, man. Sean Connery is, it's a great actor. All right, we reached the 2-hour point. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. I appreciate everyone's support as always. Everybody have a good day. Everybody have a great day, and stay blessed, everyone. Ta-ta! They're ta-ta with Daniel.